Hello, everyone. Daniel wanted to mention everyone that is here and supported us and made this happen. I want to add two more people. Bob and Trudy Gottisman are here also. And food, let's just say Jewish food is very close to their heart. And also everybody's friend and everybody admires her, Tzili Charny. She's somewhere here. Thank you for being with us. I have to tell you that this is a very emotional moment for me. Not because this event, we had a lot of trouble with this event, as you heard before, but Alana have come forward and saved us. And I learned what Jewish luck is today, I mean, really well. But there is another reason. I'm involved with the museum since 2008. And I've just realized that this is our last gala when we're going to talk about the dream of opening the museum, about the transformation. Actually, next year when we meet, we're going to be already in the new museum. So that's pretty exciting. Now I know who are the real friends here are, because I've heard so many complaints today in the morning from the New Yorkers about the weather. That people who came out in the snow, which I think happens every year generally, but some people are very nervous about that. So thank you for being here. I know that's important for you to be with us. Some small things about the museum. We are going to open in July 2020, but we opened the first phase of the transformation in May 2016. And if you guess how many people went through the exhibit since then, don't think you can, I'll tell you. It's 700,000 visitors that we had. Another interesting fact is that once we open, we're going to become the largest Jewish museum in the world, and the only one that tells the whole story. It's a past, present, and the future of all Jewish people. So that's something to be celebrated. Thank you. I've recently visited the Israel National Library, and David Bloomberg, who was chair of it for many years, I said to him, how do you feel? They're going to open very soon. And he said, oh, you know, the work has just begun. And by the way, that's how I feel, and I really hope that we are opening this jewel in the crown, but ultimately we do it to make sure that people come and see it and go through the experience. So I really hope that all of you can help us bring millions and millions of visitors to the place once I mean, you can bring them now already, but once it's open for sure. Now, the topic of, if you know what we do in the museum, and I'm sure all of you know, what we want to make sure is that people ask themselves the right questions and get themselves the right answers. And the questions are who they are and where do they belong. And the reasons that these questions are so important is that in the current time, in 21st century, with all the changes happening around us, I don't know how you feel, but I feel overwhelmed with constant changes, constant change of labels, change of identities. And I think there is no way of living meaningful and balanced life if you don't know the answer to the question who you are and where you belong. And also if you don't know that you belong to something bigger than yourself and meaningful. Now, I feel very fortunate being part of the Jewish people. Dan will kill me now, but I'll say that. We are the most powerful network in the world and one of the most creative and influential part of network in the world, the Jewish people. And it's a privilege to be a part of it. And I'll tell you a little bit, those of you who don't know me, so my story is like that. So I was born Jewish, and I was born a minority in a very anti-Semitic country. Some of our friends Sophie and Mike can relate to that easily, right? So we were born in this Jewish and in a minority, and then I was an immigrant twice. I moved to London first for work, and then I made Aliyah to Israel. So now I'm a proud member of Israeli majority. And so this question of who I am and where I belong is, you know, I can't, like, even if I wanted to avoid that conversation with myself, I can't really avoid because I change things every time. So I have to ask myself, what is it I'm doing? So you know that the issue of identity and belonging is very close to my heart. I mean, you just saw the museum. That's what I do day and night, right? But I decided this year to take it to the next level because I decided, you know, just building the biggest museum in the world together with all of us is not enough. So I decided to write a book. I don't have a previous experience. I'm surprised myself. I didn't think that I will add author to the list of the identities that I have. happy to report that I did write and did publish the book, and the book is called The Impact of Identity. It's about the power of knowing who you are, and I'm also very honored to share it with you. That's going to be a going away present. If you stay till the end and behave nicely, you are going to get a present, and one of them is going to be my book. And thank you. And the reason I wrote it is because I got sick and tired of the people that were explaining to me that being an immigrant or being in a minority somehow makes you a weak part of the society. Like, you don't have the resources, external resources, like when you are born in the country and you have all the networks and connections, and if you're a minority and immigrant, so you are somehow limited in the resources. What I think people don't realize is that when you don't have all that external resources, what you build is you build your internal resource, you build your own resilience. And I think the story of the Jewish people and all the challenges that we went through and everything, and I mean this room and everywhere in the world shows that it made us stronger, it made us united, it made us much more resilient, from what I can see, and we can all survive the political storm that is happening in Israel and United States. And it also gave us an opportunity to have a meaning in the life, if we choose to. So that's why I wrote the book, because I feel that it's very important to remember, to always ask yourself who you are and where you belong. I really hope you enjoy the dinner. It's going to be all about food, and that's the most uniting thing that Jews can ever have. And thank you all again for coming out. Thank you.